Let me introduce you to Emma. Emma is a year and a month old. She'd been rescued a year ago. She was found on the street laying in pain with her mother. She was hit by a car and she had spent like days there without any help. Until someone stopped and asked the owner what he was going to do about it. So his response was that he was going to let her die. Why? It's because it would be too expensive to heal her. So his decision was just to let her on the street die right there. So obviously the person didn't want that to happen. So she asked him if he would let her take her. And the response was yes. But unfortunately her mother could not be saved. So the lady could not find anywhere that would take Emma until she found out about Farm Sanctuary. So Farm Sanctuary took Emma to the vet as fast as they could because her back right leg was very injured. So the best option that the vet could find was to euthanize her. The vet didn't have any opposition. That Farm Sanctuary took them to another vet for another opinion. So that's what they did. They took her to UC Davis. Emma's doctor determined that her leg was too badly injured to be fixed. So the best option that they saw was to amputate it. And so it would open an option for her to get a prosthetic leg when the wound would be fully healed. So that's what Farm Sanctuary opted for. So after the surgery, Emma had to stay at UC Davis for 5 months because they had to make sure that she wouldn't only survive but she would thrive on 3 legs. And so she had a lot of exercise to do to make sure that she walked properly with her 3 legs. So now Emma does very well on her 3 legs. She is a sweet cow, the sweetest cow that I've ever met, honestly. I love her so much. She loves people, she loves kisses, she loves eating hay. She has a really nice yard where she can graze out there. But there's still a lot of work to do. We have to make sure that her wrap is always up, and we have to do it every other day, but sometimes it's even every day because it falls off. And the first time that I helped the caregiver to do Emma's wrap, I asked her what was Emma's breed, and she replied that it is an Angus cow. So it clicked in my head because I remembered a moment when I was eating meat, and each week I was buying a steak that was certified Angus, and then I pictured Emma in that. I was like, how could I even do that? If only I would have pictured that cute face back then, I would have never done that. Another thing that really broke my heart about that is how young they are when they're killed. Like I said, Emma is a year and a month old, and they're killed when they're about 6 months old. So they would be much smaller than Emma, and they are still babies. How can we do that? At first I was really sad to see that she has only 3 legs, but then I realized that that wound is actually a blessing, because if she wouldn't have been injured that bad, then her owner would probably have taken her back and she would be dead already. Emma is an ambassador for all cows that are still suffering in factory farms. When people see her, they have the opportunity to make the connection and realize that all cows deserve compassion, and all cows deserve to graze like she does and be free from any harm. Seeing animal cruelty always makes me sad, but at the same time it remembers me that each day of my life I have the choice to make more compassionate food choices. And if you find Emma's story sad, then ask yourself, what am I eating? What change could I make to make a positive impact on this planet? How could I leave it in a better shape than it was before I came in? Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Empower others to become the greatest version of themselves. That's what I've learned from Emma. I will put a lot of links to how to get started on a vegan diet. And from me personally, from Emma and all the animals, thank you for choosing compassionate living.